morning, everyone. This is the 2013 Mock Council of the European Union, and we're here today to discuss on the opening of accession negotiations of the former Yugoslavian Republic of Macedonia to the European Union. On my left are the Secretariat of the Council and the Chair. On my right are the members of the European Commission. This morning's session will consist in each country's delegation to voice their questions to the state members of the Republic of Macedonia concerning three main issues. During the discussion, listen carefully to what all of us is saying so as to avoid repetitive questions or answers. The Secretariat will reject any repetitive question. The Secretariat will also inform the Chair when a country waits to speak. The flags lay on the tables, but whenever a country wishes to speak, a delegate holds the flag up. The Chair will invite each individual country to speak. The common language for everyone should be the English language.
So now we will turn to the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia to read the opening speech.
The birth of our nation was bloody. Macedonia has experienced the violence created by ethnic tensions. We have seen major political changes from communism to free market society. We have seen our capital city crushed by earthquake and witnessed a standard living that is stagnant. Our application for membership of the EU is driven by a desire to secure peace for ourselves and our neighbours, a peace that will last, to cement respect and tolerance for all minorities, to develop a thriving economy for all our citizens.
We accept that this will be a long journey, but we ask for support and encouragement. There are issues to be addressed, some real, some imagined. We firmly believe that being a part of the EU will be a major step for peace in the Balkans, which will last. We strongly seek support from Croatia. We share a long history, not always happy. Let us make history today based on a spirit of hope.
Does environmental awareness play an important role in your government?
We would ask you to consider that Macedonia is not currently aware of an environmental crisis within their country, and we would ask you to pose further questions concerning other issues that are more prominent in their country. Thank you.
How much time must Macedonia have to adapt Europe law?
How much time does Macedonia have to adopt European law?
Macedonia has been given a time frame of 5 years to adopt European law before being admitted into the European Union.
Have you ever thought an alternative name to propose which may be accepted by Fyrom people as well as Greek people?
Have we thought of an alternative name that will be acceptable towards Greek people and Bulgarian people?
This is a tricky issue and needs more time.
Estonia.
How does your voting system work? Does every citizen and all the minorities have the right to vote?
We firmly believe that one man should deserve one vote, so even the poorest people and the richest people have equal rights to vote, and each vote is equal.
Netherlands.
On what kind of export products do we want to focus in the future?
Namely in Macedonia we focus on tourism.
Belgium.
For the next elections, which observations will you organize to guarantee democracy?
Can you move closer to the microphones?
For the next elections, which observations will you organize to guarantee democracy?
Present, Macedonia is looking at maintaining the status quo and building up over time. Netherlands. Okay.
Your answer to my question was to the question how on what kind of export products do we want to focus in the future? You said tourism, but that's not an export product, so.
Absolutely.
Our main export in Macedonia would probably be agriculture.
France.
Which measures will you define to improve the rights of women in Macedonia?
Our laws recognize the equality of lesbian, gay, bisexuals, and divorced women. We agree that culturally these equalities are ignored. Changing a mindset is difficult but can only be done when outside cultural norms can be absorbed. Only by opening our eyes, ears and hearts to influence around Europe can we hope to change perception. Our country must learn that bigotry is wrong, that violence against women is wrong, but while we remain a closed society, a closed country, change and progress won't happen.
Well, I will now go to a conclave with the Commission and the Secretariat to try to write down a synthesis of this investigation session. So, thank you very much to all of you. Enjoy your lunch and we will be with you at 1 p.m.
Thank you.
As the Netherlands, we feel that Macedonia has not yet put enough effort into adapting themselves to the EU. As they repeatedly said, they can change with the help of the EU. We want to see change before they enter the EU. And for that, we will give them to 2020 to reach our standards. Thank you.
The European Union can do for you, but what you can do for yourself.
We would like Macedonia to enter the European Union because we used to be one state and we support independence, but we would like it to enter the European Union, but we should give it time till 2020 because there are a lot of problems that need solving. Thank you.
We feel that Macedonia has not yet met the requirements needed to become full member of the EU. We therefore reject the application until the EU standards have been met.
I feel like Macedonia does need to up its standards to be in the EU. Yet, at the current state that they're at, they have such a poor economy that meeting all these standards will be very hard. Not only that, I feel like they shouldn't be rewarded just for changing. I think they should be rewarded for attempting to change. So in 2016, I feel like as long as they have showed signs of trying to change and have put full investment into it, they should be allowed into the EU to be further helped.
Estonia.
Estonia thinks that we will accept the FYR Macedonia into the EU if they meet the standards within a certain time frame in a few years, and maybe like 2020. But maybe if they, as the UK just said, we can give them some help. But if they do not meet enough standards within, for example, 2016, we won't accept them, but we can give them some economic help instead, and then accept them maybe in 2020 if everything has been solved.
Okay.
We think that Macedonia should first respect the constitution before thinking entering the EU. We need to give time for that to adapt to the right criterion. So I think that 2020 is actually a good date.
France thinks that before entering in the EU, Macedonia has to respect its criteria. If in 2020 Macedonia finds a solution, we will be agreed.
The UK feels that in 6 years
well, what Netherlands and Spain and what country? France. Sorry, France have just said is that that Netherlands needs to change by 2020, but that's incredibly hard because it's not just the laws that need to change; it's the whole country's culture. And I don't know if any of you guys, well, any other country could change its entire culture in 6 years, but I don't think Macedonia can. And I think the best way to help them change is by letting them into the EU earlier than 2020. And that way we'd have better, we'd be able to watch over them better and see that they are making the change. If we leave them if we leave them to themselves for 6 years, we don't know what happened. And by that time, the economy might have crumbled even further.
Romania.
I agree with the United Kingdom because the sooner that Macedonia enters in the European Union, the better we can help them. And the sooner we have Macedonia with us, area will be in the area will be peace. So this is what we are looking for. We are looking for peace. We are looking to give them help, not to reject them from European Union. And my question is, what will happen if the changes aren't visible until the 2020?
We don't think Macedonia should change their culture because that is not necessary. We just want some problems to be solved, like immigrations and, for example, environment. But we think every country has the right to preserve their culture. Thank you.
Even if Macedonia makes a lot of effort to please and to integrate the Union, its national unity is not enough to have a chance to enter the European Union, but geographically speaking, Macedonia could be integrated because other countries from the Balkans are already in the European Union, like Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, Croatia, and so on. So, we may give youth much time.
In light of what the Netherlands is saying about suffering the consequences of Macedonia joining, the whole point of the EU is to join together and help other countries to make Europe a better place. Macedonia is in Europe, so it should be allowed in. And not only that, we're already suffering the consequences of other countries having poor economies, but we still stick with them and we still try to help them out. For instance, Greece or even Spain has quite a bad economy right now.
In my opinion, Macedonia cannot incorporate into the Euro-Atlantic patterns without any help. When Greece believes that Macedonia has stolen apart from its historical past, and Bulgaria believes that Macedonia has stolen apart from its national identity, Macedonia needs help, and we need to give them help. And have you ever thought that maybe the problem is the solution? Thank you.
We have agreed that 2016 is an appropriate date for a review and an evaluation of progress that has been conducted as an interim viewpoint, and then for the previous 4 years, the following 4 years, between 2016 and 2020, we will be looking at further improvements with a view of entry at 2020. In the event that the criteria has not been met, the Netherlands has already said that we will not accept Macedonia in 2020. If the criteria have been fulfilled, we will look at full admission. Yes? Do we agree on that? Okay, we've reached an agreement. That's very satisfying. That's good. Our next issue that we need to look at is we want to identify specific areas which we regard as priorities for Macedonia's accession over the next couple of years. Okay.
The priority for Macedonia to improve are pollution issues, the social status of national minorities, and economics. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Netherlands, you had your flag up second.
We have two main points of concern. The first one is that we would like to have a reduction of groundwater pollution, mainly around the capital, Skopje.
Okay, yeah.
And our second point is
the corruption in Macedonia. We want to see a transparent legal system
which will work in the advantage of the people of Macedonia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Belgium?
We want Macedonia to first enforce their own constitution and respect the human rights.
Human rights. Spain?
Spain considers important issues as priorities. As for human rights, Macedonia must ratify and sign the Marof Worker Convention. With respect to environment, Macedonia must reduce carbon dioxide emissions through the development of renewable energy alternatives.
Okay, Estonia?
Estonia means that Macedonia has to prioritize improving the situation for the different minorities. And according to Amnesty International, the government has done little to improve their situation.
And the Republic of Macedonia has to improve the relationship improve the situation for the homosexual and transsexual so that they do not get persecuted by people with homophobic tendencies.
Okay.
And we want a fair justice system.
Italy?
For Italy, one of the priorities for accession is name issue. Macedonia has to find a name that is accepted by a neighbor country, especially Greece. Another priority is integration of minorities in the schools and in society, with respect of their rights, their culture, and freedom of opinions. Also, national legislation has to promote the safeguard of environment. If they don't meet these priorities, they can't enter in the EU.
Okay, Poland?
Poland thinks that environmental use like reduction of the pollution and changing the old cars into new cars.
Okay, France?
The French delegation thinks that Macedonia has to be in peace to enter the European Union, so they need to solve all the problems with minorities, even if progresses have already been made. But also they need to be in peace with the neighbor countries and especially with Greece. These are the two main priorities from France.
Thank you. Romania?
For instance, Romania has gone through its own years of communism. During this period of time, our main concern was national security as citizens were in danger. In a nutshell, we are interested in finding out and supporting the Macedonia's issue of safety and national security.
Thank you. So national security for the area, the region. Yeah. Finland? Finland?
We agree with Belgium that Macedonia should improve their human rights.
So the human rights. Denmark?
The EU is an economic union, not a charity organization. With the current financial crisis, many of the member states are struggling to keep the economy afloat. In order to let Macedonia in by 2020, we therefore need to see massive changes in their overall economy and especially on their policy regarding free movement of goods. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Portugal, and then we'll finish with the UK and then go back.
Portugal demands that Macedonia improves its levels of crime before entry into the EU, particularly intellectual property theft. If Portugal makes this change, then the EU could consider Macedonia entering by 2020.
Okay, thank you very much, Portugal. UK finally?
The UK agrees with Estonia and Netherlands when they say that Macedonia must improve its corrupt government by having a transparent legal system where the trials are publicised and they are fair. There also needs to be some sort of financial accountability within the government, and also we'd like to see more fair elections observed by non-Macedonian neutral observers from within the EU to make everything fair. Thank you.
Netherlands.
Italy named the name issue, but we feel this is not important as
The Netherlands has a province that's called Luxembourg, and Belgium has one that is called Luxembourg too, and this does not cause any problems. So we feel that the name issue should not be one of the conditions for acceptance of Macedonia in the EU. Thank you.
UK?
For the exact same reasons, the UK feels the opposite. We feel that there should be an agreement between Macedonia and Greece as to the name of Macedonia and the province within Greece itself. Whether this solution is to refer to Macedonia as the former Yugoslavian Republic of Macedonia or to change the name entirely, we are not sure. But for this reason, we would like to see an agreement made promptly by 2016.
Okay. Portugal.
We believe that crime is the most important because it could, because it affects lots of people and it could be dangerous for letting Macedonia into the EU if there's lots of crime that goes on in the country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very